Sifas, I'm not going to stay in here the whole time. I'm going to go out. Good morning to everyone. Last night at midnight, someone pulled up to our home and took the hostage signs away. We have in front of our house signs that show the pictures of the hostages, and we also have signs that say we stand against anti-Semitism. And I watched in the video, and a woman, maybe in her 40s or 50s, with a mask and a ponytail, came out of a little Prius, stopped in front of our house, put on the hazards, made sure that no one could see her license plates. I think they were covered. And went calmly, took all 6 signs from the front of my house. In fact, one of them is also a sign that my young daughter made at school that says Am Yisrael Chai in Hebrew, and she left. We already put new ones, and we're not deterred. But what she didn't understand is the makeup and the story of the Jewish people. You see, we're coming to the holiday of Sukkot. The holiday of Sukkot comes after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And in essence, the holiday of Sukkot is the story of the Jewish people. Because when you sit in a sukkah, as I am right now, as you can see, I'm in my sukkah. When you're in a sukkah, it's not just a reminder of the Jewish people being in the desert for 40 years and God making a hut for them. But it's the story of the Jewish people for 2,000 years of exile, where they lived in a home not knowing if tomorrow they would be there or they would be expelled and have to travel. If it was London or Spain in 1490 afterwards, or every other country that expelled the Jewish people. So every single home they lived in was what we would call a dirat arai, a temporary home, not knowing where they would be tomorrow or the day after. But yet, this time of the year, the rabbis call it Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy. And the question is, if you're in a temporary dwelling, if you're in exile for 2,000 years and you don't know if tomorrow someone will kick you out, how is that considered the Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy, the time of our rejoicing? Never mind, it's cold, it could rain in the sukkah, but the answer is a powerful one. It's like Ben Zoma said in Pirkei Avot, who is happy? Not he who has everything he wants, but he who learns to celebrate. He who learns to celebrate and enjoy and appreciate everything he has. You see, true joy of sitting in a sukkah is from looking up to the heavens and the sky and seeing the sky and an open home to God, having your door open to guests and your heart open to Judaism, to love, to faith, and to joy. And that's been the story of the Jewish people for thousands of years. And that's why the rabbis taught us that Zman Simchatenu, the time of celebration, is not necessarily when you sit in big homes and fortified homes, but it's when you know that the home might be temporary, but the heart and the faith and the love and the ideas is what's really permanent. And therefore the rabbis made this holiday right after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, because what it tells us is that don't get caught up in all the people that build mausoleums and that build big, coliseums and build big statues and big pyramids and buildings, because it's not the buildings that last. It's the people, it's the ideas, it's the love, it's the joy, and it's the faith. And that's what this lady who came in the middle of the night to a home that all it had was signs of hostages and asking that they be brought home. All our sign said was, we fight against anti-Semitism. It didn't say conquer Gaza, which maybe we should. It didn't say bomb Hezbollah, which maybe it should. And she came at midnight and stopped her car and took the signs. So when my kids woke up in the morning, they saw the signs were missing. But guess what? Now we have more signs that are up. The signs might come and go, but what's in our heart, what's in our mind, what's in our faith, that's what lasts. And therefore I beg with you to celebrate with me this year. We have so many things going on Sukkot. The rabbis tell us that the sukkah is Almighty God giving us a hug, giving us an embrace, and telling us, I love you. After all the praying and holidays, we get engulfed, we get enveloped into the sukkah with so much joy and love from God. You know, there's a famous song that goes all the way back to Russia. Goes all the way back to Russia. It's a song, it's in Yiddish, and today it's also translated into English, and it's called Sukkah La'Kleina. And it's the story of this little girl who in Russia, under communism and so much anti-Semitism, her parents built a small sukkah. But it was freezing cold and it was snowing and the winds were blowing and the sukkah was made a little bit, a knock of a nail here, attached onto this, but it wasn't a very sturdy sukkah. And she comes running into her father and says, Daddy, the sukkah's about to fall. The sukkah's about to fall. What should I do? And the father tells her in Yiddish, Hab nicht gemeide, don't be fearful. The sukkah wird bleiben stehen. The sukkah will continue to stand. It's already over 2,000 years that this sukkah stands, that this sukkah is a beacon of light to the world, even through times when it looked shaky and it looked like the sukkah was going to fall or one wall fell. But the sukkah stood because it's the promise that God tells the people of Israel that we are here for eternity. And the ideas, the love, the joy, the faith is here to stay. So my blessing to you is Chag Sameach, Happy Sukkot. May it be a time of true joy for you, for all of the people of Israel, for the hostages to come back home, for Israel to be secure from the missiles, from the rockets, for the people all over the world to be safe from anti-Semitism and all kinds of hate. And just remember, when you're in the sukkah, look up to the open sky, to heaven, the open doors to your guest, and your open heart to faith and love, and you will be full of joy and happiness. Chag